I'm the Nostalgia Critic. I remember it, so you don't have to... Sorry, I'm kind of in the middle of a wedding.
Marriage is what brings us here today at Alabama Comic-Con. And gun show. We are here to join these two beloved Devil Boner and Hyper Fan. Where is she anyway?
Oh, she wanted to wait for the video to start so she could walk down the aisle. Okay, Bone Puncher!
She looks beautiful.
Yeah, instead of walking down the aisle with her father, she chose to walk with that glowy effect.
Here to witness this union is Benny, Devil Boner's best man.
Yeah, but not best shot, though!
And Nostalgia Critic, Hyper Fangirls.
I think the term we're going with is Butler of Honor.
Okay, cool, whatevs. The rings, please. Our dearly committed have decided to write their own vows.
I want you.
I want you.
Then by the power invested in me, by me, I now pronounce you psycho husband and stalker wife. You may now kill... Well, that works too.
Hey, seeing how this is a convention and we're already clearly liquored up, let's just have the reception here!
Peppermint schnapps for all!
A blessing on your head!
Mazel tov, mazel tov.
So, how does it feel to officially be Hyper Boner? As excited as the name sounds.
Oh, that's wonderful. Now, if you excuse us, we're gonna see if the flowers are smokable.
I already did. They are!
Oh, that's great again!
I'll admit, I didn't think Hyperboner was a good idea, but after seeing all the joy displayed, it's clear that Hyperboner is going to last a long time.
Ain't it the truth?
Nice suit.
Back at ya.
Oh, doesn't Hyper Boner look up?
Incredibly up.
Whenever anybody sees you, they'll say you can't keep Hyperboner down. For years to come. Yeah, that's about what we predicted. You know, sometimes a name can spark a lot of possibilities. There's been so many films and shows that suggest something is going to be amazing just based on the title alone. Some of them work, some of them don't. And then there's movies that thought the name first and clearly wrote around it. You know where I'm going with this. Chipwrecked is the third in the Questioning Humanity film series based on Alvin and the Chipmunks, and if you can believe it, it's not the last. By this point, it's made clear that a bad pun is literally enough to throw millions of dollars into a film shoot exploiting kids' inability to say no to shit. It's just as phoned in and tired as you would think, but why generalize when we can go into more detail? Well, I can think of a lot of reasons, but if I'm allowed to leave a wedding early so I don't have to listen to any more Hyperboner jokes, I guess I can suffer for you. This is Chipwrecked. The film knows parents want to go home as quickly as possible, so it jumps right into it with barely an opening at all, which is fitting because this is barely a movie at all. No, Jason Lee, you can't pack up and leave the franchise that easily.
Where you been?
Where have I been? Trying to board the ship.
It's not easy looking older and sadder with every passing film. So they're going on a family vacation and... no, that's all the setup we get. We don't even know where they're sailing to. But I do know the next 4 song in their bullshit soundtrack.
This is your captain speaking.
I'm glad to know there's great security on the ship microphone.
Attention, attention. The moon landing was fake and Earth is flat. Yeah, bet you didn't know you were rooting for that kind of character, did ya? All kids are now allowed to play on the adult-only Serenity deck. But only the douchebag ones who exist in movies to make punchlines work.
Wow, gotta love how invested some of those families look. Was this take 8 they're pretending they're excited about a table with nothing on it? No wonder they had to switch out these kids mid-edit. Alvin! There, I did the thing. Now let me contemplate my life's mistakes. So Dave tries to set more rules for his rodent ruffians.
I'll start acting like a grown-up when you start. I whip my tail back and forth, I whip my tail back and forth, I whip my tail back.
Not even 5 minutes in and we're on song 3. Why don't you just implant the soundtrack into my brain like Dark City? You know you would if you legally could.
This is so not fair. Not to us, and certainly not to the captain.
Why the hell are you wearing towels? You literally showed up in the films naked. You don't even wear pants. I follow none of this.
Where are you going? To the casino. Oh, no. No. Dave said we're old enough to make our own decisions.
You know, I'm starting to think this whole film exists just so everybody could go on a cruise. What are we shooting today?
The bed, the floor. Let some CG artists who want to work for Pixar do the rest. Casino time!
Shitty song 4, by the way. You will hate this soundtrack more than Frozen.
Sorry.
She's sorry for stepping on my friend's foot or her busted, tired little dance moves.
One of those common occurrences where the entire casino goes quiet and 3 grown women feel they have to show up squirrels. Have you ever casinoed, yo? Those squirrels could be lighting fires and nobody would look up from their hand. I feel like I'm watching a dance-off between Happy Meal toys and the Powerpuff whores. What the hell is going on right now? We call that move the I'm a little teapot seizure. Was there a glitch in the Matrix? Who choreographed that? One of the Rhapsody Street Kids? Come on, we'll do better in our dance-off against the Muppet Babies. Dave, meanwhile, has a talk with the ship's mascot, an X-Five Nights at Freddy's character, when he reveals himself to be a familiar face. Oh, thank God! I don't care that you called filming this the most unpleasant experience of your career. That just means you understand the pain I'm sitting through!
What are you doing here? I'm working, Dave.
It's the same conversation that David Cross fan has when he sees him in one of these films.
What are you doing here? I'm working. Not too many record labels are interested in hiring the guy who blew it with the Chipmunks, blew it with the Chipettes, and passed on Justin Bieber.
To be fair, it is hard to tell the difference between the Chipmunks and Justin Bieber. Bieber's a little shorter.
I'll be watching you like a hawk.
Oh, David Cross, you're like Jesus giving Ben-Hur water. You don't fix everything, but I'm glad you're here. Dave sees they left Theodore alone to watch Cookie Monster's meth meltdown as he notices everyone has vanished.
Alvin? Simon? Girls?
I forgot your names like the rest of the audience, so I just call you Girl Alvin, Girl Simon, and Girl Theodore. He finds them in the casino and warns them that if they don't behave, he won't take them to win their possible International Music Award. I can tell you're just as concerned about that as I am.
You're all lucky Captain Corelli's allowed you one more activity. Shuffleboard.
Yeah, by now Jason Lee is realizing this isn't gonna be as easy as the last film where he literally slept through his performance. This time he's gotta suffer with the rest of them. Hey, wake up, you cheater!
Time to turn punishment into funishments. You get it? I took the pun in punishment and turned it into fun, but kept the ishment. It's wordplay.
It's at times like this I wish this was the boat from Speed 2 so Willem Dafoe could grab them and throw them into the ocean. I can dream, but I always have to wake up in a world where this exists. Alvin goes parasailing on a kite and of course gets caught in the wind as well as Dave's chair.
This won't end well.
The original tagline for the film. It's okay, this happens a lot. I'm actually a terrible parent. Call DCFS. Ah! David Cross gets forcibly roped in, again a fitting metaphor, as they fall into the water, far away from where the chipmunks fell into the water.
Just one bite? No. A nibble? No nibbles. Maybe I can just lick the glaze.
Your ass is on it. Show some dignity. Meanwhile, Jason Lee and David Cross are clearly not in the same water they were a second ago, as they discover an island that the chipmunks discover as well. The chipmunks build a fire and...
Kumbaya, my lord. Kumbaya.
Yeah, we're a minute short of theatrical runtime. Go ahead.
Kumbaya, my lord. Kumbaya. Kumbaya.
It's funny because we hate everything now. and Cross make it to the island, and as you imagine, they don't get along. Cross repeats what he told the producers of this film every day.
I'm not one of your chipmunks that you can just boss around and stuff into a cage whenever you feel like it.
Meanwhile, the chipmunks make sure their auto-tuning still works. Weird theory, what if they're the deformed time-traveling rabbits from Lost and they're just trying to make their way back home? It's a weak theory, I know, but I'd much rather work on that than work on watching this!
It's bark. Yeah, for breakfast. It's been forever since our last all-you-can-eat buffet. Crazy suggestion, guys. We eat Theodore. You know he'll eat us if we don't eat him first.
They find a little bit of food in the jungle and everybody chases after it. Oh look, Gollum says that! It's fine because Gollum says that! He says that! But they come across an unexpected individual, a woman named Zoe, played by Jenny Slate.
Don't eat us, Mr. Jungle Monster.
I'm not a monster, I'm Zoe, and I'm clearly a girl.
I was on my way to be funny on Bob's Burgers, but I guess I can stop and be unfunny here.
Alvin and the Chipmunks?
Who and the what now?
I'm sure you've heard of the Chipettes.
Who?
Whatever, you're a food source. Kindly get on the fire. So it looks like she's trapped on the island too. For how long, you might ask? A week, week and a half? Maybe she also fell from the cruise ship.
8 or 9 years.
9 years?
You know, what was I expecting? Logic, joy, charm out of a chipmunk movie? Of course she's been there for 9 years. Why else would her skin barely be dirty, her hair permed, her clothes spotless, and she's crazy enough to talk to sports balls like Castaway, yet smart enough to make a house even George of the Jungle will call bullshit on? Did I expect more? No. Did I get less? Somehow. Simon is bit by a spider and starts to go through a strange transformation in his sleep. Knowing this movie, he'll probably wake up like this.
Are you alright?
I'm fine.
Actually, believe it or not, the real change he goes through is even stranger. He wakes up as a Rambo-type adventurer who is also a smooth romantic and has a French accent.
Bonjour, my friend. Would you care to join me on my adventure? The adventure called life!
I don't get it. What the hell is this referencing, hinting at, or anything? He's like this through a good chunk of the movie, like we're supposed to understand what this is satirizing. And I'll just be honest, I have no idea what's supposed to be funny about it. It's like someone went to a random word generator and was like, I'm literally gonna let you write Simon's character, just give me 3 random words. Rambo, French, horny. Okay, those last 2 are the same thing, but it's shipwrecked, what do I care? As you'd imagine, the girls, particularly Jeanette, find Simon's new personality irresistible.
What are you doing? What I've wanted to do since the moment I laid my eyes all over on you.
Deflower you. No good? I got it from this Weinstein guy's pickup book.
After dancing the hormones away, they come across a beautiful waterfall.
Wow! Double rainbow! What does it mean?
It means that joke will really be dated as soon as it's used in a chipmunk movie. Simon dives into the water and discovers a room full of gold. But he's down there for so long that everyone starts to worry about him.
Where are you?
Attention averted, continue with your tedium.
Maybe this will be a way to make it up.
Were there any other jewels or gems or...
I had already been gone from my Jeanette far too long. What?
No, what? I think he was asking what the joke for that scene was. Did anybody catch it?
Maybe this will...
No, don't rewind it. I'm fine leaving it a mystery. Meanwhile, Jason Lee and David Cross continue to wander through the jungle and... Wait, let me guess. He's trying to prove how much he loves his kids, and his kids are trying to learn responsibility.
I really messed
You don't need to show me a clip, that's always it! It's the only thing guaranteed in these movies outside of out-of-nowhere shitty subplots.
They found it! The rest of the treasure is mine. All mine!
So Zoe's a villain now, hmm? I've had bigger twists with my lemon in my rum and coke. With no lemon, but hell, let's just go with it. When Zoe finds she can't reach the gold room herself, she decides to kidnap one of the chipmunks to help her. Okay, even for this movie, that was really weird. I didn't think there was a way to make an evil basketball version of My Neighbor Totoro. Surprisingly, it hadn't crossed my mind that much, but you accomplished it, movie. Here's your trophy. The chipmunks find Lee and Cross and build a raft together to get off the island. But, oh no, not only do they realize Jeanette is missing, but a volcano is about to blow. And the professor made a lie detector out of coconuts. I think this is one of those situations where even if you fix it, it doesn't fix it. On top of that, Simon is hit on the head with a golf ball, snapping him out of his delusion. The movie seems to have forgotten it was a spider bite that caused him to act strange and not a bump on the head, but the credits are so close, let's not slow things down.
I'm coming with you.
Oh, absolutely not. It's too dangerous.
Remember I said someday I may need to disobey you? Sorry, Dave, but I gotta disobey you.
You disobey him all the time. Absolutely nothing is being learned from this. Honestly, obeying him would be the strange thing. $342 million grossing movie. Zoe forces Jeanette to get the gold, as Jeanette reminds us that even as jukebox musicals go, this one's still especially bad.
SOS, please, someone help me.
Oh, isn't there anyone to hear my other person singing sped up to sound like my voice? The others come across Zoe, though, as they try to rescue Jeanette. Alvin! Take this knife that magically changes size in midair!
It's tempting to blame Dave. I know.
You know, why don't the three of us sit down for a minute and really think about what our agents did to us? Like, really mull it over. At the very least, we have David Cross's cynicism to get us through all this sappiness.
I've been there. I wish I could get back all those years I spent plotting my revenge.
No. No, don't you ruin Cross, movie!
Hate, anger, regret, they're what consumed me. And they're consuming you.
Don't you ruin it, movie! Don't you ruin it! He was the only funny thing in any of these!
It's not too late to do the right thing.
Oh, David Cross!
You were the chosen one! You were my brother! I loved you!
Or not, again. I'm good either way, so I don't want to sway you.
Okay, that was funny! That went fine! I'm willing to put up with that! You are a cross I am willing to bear! They escape the last-minute color correction and that scathing smoke somehow, as they all sit down to think about what they've been through.
Jeanette, I don't know what to say. I'm really sorry.
Well, apology accepted.
Okay, people are way too forgiving of attempted murder in these films. Can't there be like a... something?
Dave?
Yes, Alvin?
I just wanted to say... Life lesson you were trying to teach me learned.
Parallel life lesson you were trying to teach me learned.
Look! Cop-out plot device wrapping up things too well.
Pass. Keep flying. They of course make it in time for the music awards. We never actually figure out if they win anything. I'm just assuming no, should have kept Cross as your agent. And the credits mercifully roll. So that was Chipwrecked. It was tough to get through, and when you really think about... Oh wait, we're still going? We're still going?
I'm sorry, sir. We're gonna have to gate check those.
Are you gonna charge me $25 a bag?
Bullshit, man! We had a deal! You roll the credits, we get to go! What the hell's left to show? The chipmunks eating shawarma?
Sir, please return to your seat. We're about to take off.
But he...
Sit!
As an actress from an actual good CGI film, I hold superiority. That almost killed my stuntman.
Alvin!
And that, finally, is Chipwrecked. And I had to give him credit. It lived up to what it promised. It felt like I was watching people thrown off a ship and slowly die. It's such a rushed cash-in that's not even disguising how much of a rushed cash-in it is. It has nothing for adults. What it has for kids you could get off of a children's screensaver. It's totally devoid of charm. And that is again for David Cross. Yeah, I have to give credit. I always enjoy seeing him in these films. Despite him clearly being above this material, he's the only one who can get a smile out of me with some of these awful lines. Aside from that though, it's best to leave this piece of driftwood washed up on shore. And it just goes to show you can't really turn out anything of value when your base is nothing but a bad pun. Thank you, thank you. I can see Hyperboner lasting a long time too.
I'm really having second thoughts about this hyperboner thing.
Big time, yeah.
I love your name, but I just don't think that it works for me.
Yeah. Wait a minute. What if yours wasn't the last name that changed?
What are you saying, Honey Bottoms?
I'm saying
that from this day on, I shall be known as...
Devil Fangirl.
Don't do that.
Oh, thank God. You know, I really didn't want to. I was just kind of doing it to make you happy.
Let's just keep our last names.
Whatever keeps you just the way you are is fine by me.
Come on, let's consummate our marriage the way that most newlyweds do.
You mean by passing out because this sucked the life out of us? You got it!
Is your ring on the wrong finger?
I'm too tired to notice.
Hate, anger, regret, those aren't just members of a girl group I once signed.